Trying not to lose my shit. I'm just trying not to lose my shit.
Alright guys,
Boom.
oh, you were about to start? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna be singing boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. We'll spend the night together for now until forever. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, I'm done.
Completely forgot that the fucking circle, the X is the exit button. I hated that shit so much on PlayStation. I hated that
That
so.
the exit button is triangle.
Is X. I hated it so much. Alright, so what is up guys? Welcome to another episode of TemGameBoyz. We're gonna start something new today. And today we're gonna be playing Sonic Heroes. And there's many reasons of why I'm gonna do so. And guess what? I'm gonna be calling out a certain Let's Play group. And there's reasons why.
Talking about the game Grumps.
Yes. So many times I wanted to do this for a while.
He's pissed off because the game Grumps are deliberately playing the game poorly.
So I'll explain what the issue is, which is exactly why I hate it so much. I'm not gonna lie, that's actually creative to have like a video letter like that.
Yeah, Metal Sonic was pretty creative to do that.
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty cool. Hell yeah! There may be fucking drinks. Glow sticks? Better.
Uranium sticks.
It's death sticks?
We got pixie sticks, bitch.
Oh, all these rings. No, but yes, I am doing this to initially call out Arin Hansen of the Game Grumps. Alright, I am doing this because it is literally to a point where I am so sick and tired of him shitting on games that just because of the fact that he's terrible at them. I hate that so much.
Don't you also do that?
Like in what way?
Like you shit on Tail Concerto even though you're terrible at that game.
Well,
you also shit on Psychonauts even though you're terrible at that game.
I shit on Psychonauts' graphics. That's the thing. As I said, the game itself is not that bad. It's just that the graphics make me sick for Psychonauts. Even you yourself admitted at one point that Tail Concerto was actually pretty bad itself when it comes to its actual freaking movement.
Yeah, that's because it has tank controls. That's the problem.
Yeah, so don't try to call me out on this, mister.
I'll call you out on whatever the fuck I want to because I like to call people out on shit. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna be real. I feel kind of bad for the voice actor who voiced Tails in this game because he was like, you can tell he really enjoyed voicing this goddamn character.
Yeah. And then
you can tell he was having fun.
Okay, interesting.
So you wanted to call out Arin, and yet...
No, because I went the wrong way. Damn it. And you know what I was doing is because I was moving the analog stick. But anyway, let's continue.
But yeah, look, there's a lot to criticize about Sonic Heroes, but I will admit, I don't get why people say that this game is a part of the Sonic Dark Age.
Trust me,
it's really not.
Trust me, it really is not. The Dark Age really...
The Sonic Dark Age is just Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06. That's all it is.
I wouldn't say Shadow the Hedgehog was the Dark Age. I would say it was Sonic 06.
No, because Shadow the Hedgehog is a bad game. Like, it's got some fun aspects to it, but it's not a good game.
I can agree to disagree on that one, because I like the aspect that, because it showed the actual aspect of what actually could be a thing for Shadow, like for his story, because apparently this actually explains why Shadow is the way he is.
Except we already got that explanation in Sonic Adventure 2, and we also got that explanation in Sonic... Well, I know Sonic Heroes doesn't focus on Shadow as a character all that much, but bringing Shadow back, for the most part, could have been done a lot better, because, again, the characters could have just filled Shadow in. him having amnesia in Sonic Adventure, like I feel like the characters could have easily filled Shadow in Sonic Adventure. No, not in Sonic Adventure. Like after Sonic Heroes, he didn't need to still have amnesia in Shadow the Hedgehog. Number one, and number two, the biggest issue with Shadow the Hedgehog as a goddamn character, well, not as a character, but as a game, is that it's tedious as fuck because you have to play the first level 15 goddamn times just to get different stories.
Well, that's the point of it. Like that. You're not...
Okay, here's the problem I have with this. The problem is that most of the stories in Shadow the Hedgehog are unnecessary as shit. I feel like there should have just been 3 main stories. The evil option, the neutral option, and the fucking good option. And all 3 of the stories should have been weaved together in a way that actually made sense because the ending is based off of the goddamn neutral ending. So I really don't... Like, I generally think that the goddamn game, overall... Like, it just feels like a waste of time a lot of the time. Or better yet, just have the game be about Shadow more or less deciding, like, have him deciding to work with certain characters depending on what his motivation is at that part of the game. Like, in the beginning, he starts off working for Black Doom because he believes Black Doom's gonna help him. Halfway through the game, he starts working with Eggman because he thinks Eggman's gonna help him. He figures out Eggman is trying to make the Shadow androids, and so he decides to say fuck it and work with Team Sonic up until the end of the game, where he ends up getting filled in on the events of Sonic Adventure 2. Shadow realizes, okay, he's the one true Shadow and all that type of shit, and then he fights Black Doom. Boom. It covers the aspects that all of those fucking... I can't even remember how many goddamn stories are in Shadow the Hedgehog, because when I first played it, I just got fucking annoyed. But I had to play the game because in my household, I couldn't get a new video game unless I beat the ones I already had. Which is why I fucking hate Devil May Cry 2, by the way. Because I'm never playing Devil May Cry 2 again, in my opinion. But, like, when it comes down to it, I hate it. Like, I just could not get through Shadow the Hedgehog as a kid because it was a game that required... Like, it required you to play so many different fucking stories and all these other ideas, and they just didn't handle the multiple story aspect well. Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Heroes handle the multiple story aspect well because you're seeing it from different characters' point of views and perspectives, and the different outcomes and ideas actually function together. Like, they actually feel like they're building into one another. Shadow the Hedgehog does not do that. And I'm sorry if I took up too much time complaining about Shadow the Hedgehog. It's just... goddamn, that fucking game really, really pisses me off.
So I know what we're going to be playing it next after this.
Motherfucker, we are not playing Shadow the Hedgehog after Sonic Heroes.
I don't want to hear that shit. We're gonna be doing it.
Alright, fine. But if we're going to be playing Shadow the Hedgehog next, I'm going to be playing the game and calling out all the goddamn problems that fucking game has, okay? You are not going to touch the controller when I play this. In fact, I would download it on my computer and share the screen with you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. To be fair, you will be playing this anyway, so you're gonna be doing the next playthrough.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know I'm gonna be playing. Because the way me and Nico have this set up, he's gonna be playing Team Sonic and Team. I think it was Chaotix. I'm gonna be playing Team Dark and Team Rose.
You see, I didn't have a problem, Arin. Did you have this issue? No, I didn't have these issues. Not really. Let's see what else. Let me see.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, a C, Arin, for you are a cunt. There you go.
Okay, I don't think you should insult Arin Hansen like that. He's like one of the few Sonic fans still on the goddamn internet.
Well, I'll tell you one of the big issues of why I do so. Like, so this is a guy who I feel, as I said, this is a masochistic thing for him, and this is where it kind of gets to a point. Like, I understand if you're a fan and you're calling out things that could be better or something like that. He just shits on them just for shits and giggles. Like, even when...
Yeah, he's a masochist.
Yeah, exactly. And then... it's not just this game that is a problem that I have with him. So, like... he is one of these guys, knowing how like certain things like are in certain video games, like for instance, like you have to go through certain tutorials. He doesn't like it because, oh my goodness, like it's such a waste of time. Like I should be able to play the game how I want. Like my guy, you don't play Paper Mario Thousand Year Door like a fighting game. It makes no sense. Like there is a reason why the tutorials are there, but the only reason
to show you how to play the fucking game.
Yeah,
which
but,
I get, because a lot of people, like I remember I had a friend of mine who had like a very similar mindset with. Can't remember which fucking game it was, but he had a very similar mindset with, I think, like a bunch of different fighting games, where he would get really pissy and really angry if he couldn't like break the game or some shit.
It's like I should be able to break the game. That's what I want to do. Like, bro, like no, that's not how it goes, motherfucker. You gotta go ahead and do what you gotta do with the game first. But no, like Arin Hansen wants to go ahead and ruin the game every single damn time, and it's because I think that's why he has an issue with the freaking Zelda games. And what sucks about
I
it,
love Zelda.
it's just no, he hates the 3D ones.
Why the fuck does he hate the 3D ones?
Because apparently they have like stories that make no sense. There shouldn't be. There's no reason to tell them. Also, like especially like with he hates the Z controls. So it's like, bro, you're not using them to the extent where they're supposed to be done. And people understand why I get so pissed, because it's like, this is like a guy who is, in a sense, like it's like bringing a kid to, like, you know, I would say Magic Kingdom to get on a ride. You got the ride that says, oh, it's 60 minutes of wait, and then you're on the line, and then you're wondering, why is it taking so long? Because it's a 60-minute wait, dumbass. Obviously, that's Arin Hansen. That's Arin Hansen to a fucking T. And it's like, bro, you are like the biggest adult baby I've ever seen in my life. Also, okay, don't care for the turtle, asshole. Plus, also, if you see him play things such as, say, like anything like, you know, freaking Tears of the Kingdom. Oh my goodness. I have never seen the biggest sack of shit player ever when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom. Like,
I mean, I don't want to like publicly denounce the guy because I think he's pretty cool, but like, I guess that makes sense.
There's another reason why I would shit on him, to why he should be publicly denounced, but I'm not going to, because then we're gonna be making a whole bunch of enemies doing so. I think that's the last thing we need, because we're already calling him out for his shitty gameplay. But I'll explain it to you afterwards. But yeah, that's one major thing on that. It's, I could say, as an person, based on that certain thing that he did learn from it. He did apologize. He did a bad thing for it. All I can say is that a certain thing was said and it should not have been said, because it's a very bad term that has been used a while ago. But he did publicly apologize for it. He was like, you know what, it's not something that is really that good. I apologize for it. And he changed his mentality on that. I could give him that. But I'm just shitting on him for his gameplay.
Okay.
So that's why. And as I said, he is just a child man baby that really doesn't get to a point where, hey, you know what? he doesn't want to learn the game. He just wants to go ahead and shit on the game because he refuses to learn. Like, it's the idea that, like, as I said, it's like a kid trying to learn how to use the Play-Doh, how to make a thing from Play-Doh.
Whoa! What's with that giant rock?
But
Here we go.
it gets to a point where instead of just learning how to build something with it, he's gonna eat it.
You're basically saying Arin Hansen
Looks like its buddy
is the type of guy that would eat Play-Doh.
He actually has.
How the fuck? Why the fuck would he eat Play-Doh?
I think it was because of a dare or something he did for the 10-minute power hour, so that makes sense of why he would do so.
All right.
10-minute power hour.
Yeah, that's like his show that he does with Dan, which Dan is an amazing person. I love Dan. I love Dan with a passion. But as I said, for Arin, don't know why he would do some crazy stuff like that, but it'll be weird. But yeah, we're playing this mainly just to go ahead and call out Arin.
Perfect.
Yeah, A asked for kiss my ass. You know what? But anyway, yeah, we're playing this in spite just to piss off the Game Grumps because a lot of people.
That is a very dumb reason to play a video game.
Hey. They played games in spite of the Sonic community, so I don't.
Okay. Oh, okay. The special stages. I actually don't mind the special stages in this game. You have to boost. No.
Yeah, I know. I'm going after the Emerald.
Wait, I thought you were supposed to hold boost.
No, it's like the grinding situation. Like you have to like tap it here and there.
Oh. I heard people hate these special stages though.
I don't know why. They're actually pretty fun. But we got it. Emerald is ours. It's ours. Stock it. Knuckles looks
I don't know.
very, very intimidating here.
I'm not sucking nothing.
And you know what? Let's be honest. I think there's a lot of good Sonic games. Like
Yeah,
Well-
like I'd say most Sonic games are pretty decent. There
Sonic-
are a few that are like genuinely fantastic, and then there's like,
Frontiers is good. Frontiers is really good.
yeah,
Forces was okay. Could have been better.
I wouldn't say that.
Stop your futile efforts. You'll just make fools of yourself.
Cause like the thing about Forces is that it's basically just a watered down version of Generations, and yeah, it's not good.
I would say,
I'm not ready to give up just yet.
I don't know. I guess it's because I like the. I guess I'm one for character customization, so that's why it's one of those things. That's why.
Initiate rotary attack.
What? Whoa! Whoa! Ha ha! Take that, Eggman.
All you got.
Aha! Yeah, fuck. Let's go.
Oh no! Both rotors are gone.
Get wrecked. But let's go ahead. No. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I was gonna say like weren't you gonna go on? Like
Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of half paying attention right now.
Initiate rotary attack.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like half paying attention right now because I'm currently photoshopping something really the fucking thumbnail for my how I would make a Sonic movie video.
oh my goodness. What? You don't like the Sonic movies?
I see the Sonic movies as, how do I say this? The live action Sonic movies by Paramount to me are like the Michael Bay Transformers movies. They vaguely resemble the thing that I like, but they don't actually like, expand upon them or make them better, if that makes sense.
To be fair, I would say the Michael
Like,
Bay.
they're decent films, and the Michael Bay films are much worse. But like, they're decent films.
I would not
but-
say that.
What do you mean?
I would say the Michael Bay films are actually pretty good, honestly.
The first one, fine, but like every other Michael Bay Transformers movie is fucking terrible, man.
Eggman's robots
I don't think there's really that much that you could expect from the Transformers, honestly.
Power of teamwork.
Have you seen the movie Transformers 1?
Yes.
Energy plant. So that's
Have you seen Transformers Prime?
Yes.
Have you read any of the Transformers comics?
Yes.
what was Sonic?
Especially
So
the-
you're telling me that there's not much you can expect from the trans motherfucking farmers?
yeah, because like literally what it is, like all it is that is basically is the exact same thing. Is like you're just gonna go ahead and either want to do two things. The only difference is that no, let me explain that again. So the only difference in like legitimate story is if you're going with one of two things. Are you going through Energon? Are you going through things like the regular comics or like the old school comics, old school ones like we know with Unicron and everything like that? Are we gonna go through like even things in regards to like the planets and everything? What legitimately, if you go to a point where it comes to anything of like similar stories of what they have, it was not too bad.
too cool.
Okay, what about the racial stereotypes in the Transformers movies?
Well, there are racial stereotypes in the whole entire thing. You know that?
I
You
know that, yes, there are some racial, but the thing is, Michael Bay fucking knows better. Also,
Not-
for some strange ass reason, there is just like a fuck ton of like military. Like, there's just like a lot of dick riding for the fucking military in the Transformers films. Also, none of the Transformer characters in the movies are really that interesting. Optimus Prime is just generic good guy leader. Bumblebee, even though he gets his voice back in the second movie, apparently loses it again for some fucking reason. And they take ideas and concepts from the original stories and just bastardize them and turn them into the most generic fucking action movie shit possible.
Well, to be fair, Optimus Prime was always generic good guy leader. It's just that
Not true. Optimus Prime may yes be a like good guy leader to a generic sense, but the thing about Optimus Prime that makes him so complex and interesting is the fact that he is constantly trying to choose between the people he loves and cares about, like the actual war that he's trying to fight and win on Cybertron, and fighting for the people of Earth. And the biggest issue he has is the fact that he consistently makes very selfish decisions and tries to phrase them as selfless. Like, for example, in the more recent Transformers comics, Optimus Prime actually, like, when he left Cybertron, the reason he did that was because there was apparently Energon on Earth that the Autobots could have used in order to basically, you know, win the war on Cybertron.
okay.
However, in order for him to go to Earth, he had to leave behind a lot of people on Cybertron, and the war on Cybertron has literally broken a lot of the Autobots. Alita 1 literally begged for Optimus to come back, and he went back to Earth. That is a very selfish decision, but he poses it as selfless because he wants to protect humanity from potential alien threats, which makes perfect sense. It's a complex situation that really makes you feel for Optimus, because similar to characters like Captain America or even Sonic, aka a generic good guy, he actively goes out of his way to try and do the best things he can, even if those things end up hurting other people in ways that he doesn't intend them to. And that is, again, one of the things the Michael Bay movies just don't fucking, like, they don't even attempt to try and adapt in a good way.
Well, first off,
And that's what sucks.
Well, first off, if you're gonna say that one, like, if the racial depiction of the Cybertron isn't clear, it kind of makes sense on why there's a thing here, because apparently there is a thing that actually even Starscream in the comics is Hispanic.
Okay, look, I'm saying the racial stereotypes, not the racial depiction.
Yeah. Yes. Like, so what?
Like the whole fucking. Like, I'm like, because again, Starscream being Hispanic, like, unless, like, he's not wearing a fucking sombrero and shit. Like, they literally have Tom Kenny and I can't remember who else fucking is in that goddamn movie, like, acting like stereotypical black people as robots, and it's fucking annoying. Like, I swear to God, like, I don't, because, like, I can handle a funny racial stereotype every once in a while, but these are supposed to be characters we take seriously and care about. Plus, they don't even depict most of the fucking Transformers, like, interestingly. Shockwave in this goddamn... Like, most of the goddamn Transformers and Decepticons look like absolute shit because they do not have any real color on them. All the Decepticons look gray. And they don't even... Like, half the time they don't even look like fucking robots. Why do they just look like humans with robotic designs and shit?
Like,
again, there's a lot to criticize about the fucking Michael Bay movies. But at least the fucking Sonic movies have the characters look like they're out of fucking Sonic. Half the shit in Transformers looks... It just, like, they just made it look generic. And that's something the Sonic movies do as well, but they at least try to have a Sonic coat of paint on it. The Michael Bay, at least it feels like the Sonic movies are made by people who do care about Sonic. The Michael Bay movies are made by... Michael Bay doesn't give two shits about Transformers, and that's really the problem.
As I said, I'll have to agree to disagree on that one. I think when it comes to any idea of, like, what is supposed to be, like, action-based wise, especially for Transformers, I think that's perfectly fine. I think there's a lot more that they don't give the actual movies credit to. Because I like, as much as people say that, like, that's really of a bad thing, because I think people just go ahead and give Michael Bay less credit because of the explosion situation or the explosion argument.
I don't even think it's because of the explosions, it's because of his writing. Like, that's the problem, it's his writing. Yeah. He doesn't write the characters well. Like, the action scenes, look, I'll give you this, the action scenes in the Transformers movies, they're fucking great. They're amazing. It's the writing that I have a problem with. It's the writing everyone has a problem with. The characters aren't written well. Sam Witwicky is not a very good or interesting character. Fucking Jaeger Clade from the fucking 4th and 5th movies is not an interesting character. Like, there's nothing interesting about these characters that makes you want to come back and see more of them. And what's even worse is that the Autobots themselves aren't even that fucking interesting. They don't come off as fun or interesting or well-developed characters. Nothing changes about them. There's nothing that really comes together as fun, you know? Like, the action scenes are cool and all, but again, Transformers 1, that movie basically set the standard for what fucking... You need to be Tails for this. Yeah, that set the standard for what, like, Transformers movies need to be, which is well-developed characters, not just fun action, but interesting ideas and concepts, and of course... They need to actually take elements from Transformers and adapt them in a way that feels interesting, you know? That feels decent, that feels like, oh, the writers actually give a shit about Transformers characters and lore. Like, I expected to hate Transformers 1, only for it to be the best adaptation of the Transformers possible, because there is a lot you can do with the goddamn Transformers.
Fair enough. I can understand that now.
Michael Bay didn't do that. He just said, yeah, let's just make big robots punch each other. Character development? What's that? He didn't fucking care.
Fair enough. I can understand that now. But to be fair, as I said, I personally enjoyed them. I think if it comes to, like, a realistic aspect of Transformers, I think they were pretty good, but
not even realistic. Like, just because it's live action doesn't mean it's realistic.
Yeah, but there's nothing realistic about a giant robot actually just, like, going through a damn city. But, like, if you look at it, like, if it was an aspect, you really think that an actual gun from a giant robot's not gonna crash down like a whole bunch of buildings?
Obviously, but like there's nothing. Again, I don't get why people say just because something looks live action that it's more realistic. That doesn't make any sense.
How does
Realism-
that? How does that not
Like,
make sense? Realism is based on what it's supposed to be, making a story or something realistic.
No, a realism is not whether or not a story is inherently realistic. In
Okay.
writing, realism is whether or not your story is believable to an audience. It's based on like suspension of disbelief.
So
That's what realism is. It's like if you believe the characters if the characters or their motivations make sense, that's what realism is. Like for example,
okay.
if you have a story where Percy Jackson decides to give up going on missions and fighting, and stopping gods from doing shit, that's not realistic because Percy Jackson is a naturally heroic kid. That's where realism comes in. Or Harry Potter basically becoming a fucking wizard cop. That's not realistic because we know that Harry Potter is a fucking rebel. Like that's where realism comes in. Well, like realism isn't whether or not it makes sense in real life. Realism is whether or not it's believable for your story. That's what realism is. And a lot of people who try to say, "Oh, realism is whether or not it could exist in real life," have never written anything in their goddamn life.
Well, I think honestly is it goes to a point where it's like, what do you really want to consider realistic, like on that aspect, like when it comes to the story? Like sometimes even with that, for certain parts of a story, like sometimes it's not gonna be. Sometimes there are cliffhangers that go ahead and end it, and they switch it up to like a certain thing. So like if you have a rebellish type character that's supposed to be a rebel or anti-law, there's a possibility that they could also be written to go ahead and to switch to something better.
Well, yeah, but again, realism is more or less whether or not you write your story in a way to where that's believable. Like, for example, Toph from The Legend of Korra being a cop. That didn't make any goddamn sense because nothing in The Legend of Korra or Avatar The Last Airbender made us, nothing in The Legend of Korra or The Last Airbender really came together in terms of showing us the process of Toph becoming someone. Like, it looks like, okay, the best way I can say this is nothing in either of those stories showed us the progression of whether or not Toph could potentially want to be a cop or would want to, enforce the law. Nothing in either series really showed us or gave us a reason why, which is why it's unrealistic for Toph to want to become a goddamn police officer, to want to be the chief of police and all that. Whereas it would probably have made whereas it makes more sense for her to be like a lone hermit because, well, because that's kind of Toph's whole thing. When all the other guys start being more professional and stop being fun around her, obviously she's gonna do her own shit. Of course she's gonna want to be a fucking hermit in a random swamp. I mean, it's Toph. There is no reason why she wouldn't want to be that. The whole point is that she loves nature and wants to be where the fucking Earth is. What better place to go to find the Earth than in a goddamn swamp?
I guess so.
You know? That's what realism is. It's what makes the most sense for the story, not what makes the most sense realistically. And I feel like a lot of people forget that.
But I feel like when you're coming to the idea of realism, I think it's based on what you feel like is realistic for the character, not what everybody else think would.
Well, not necessarily. Again, I'm taking this based on actual writing because I've taken a bunch of fucking writing classes and shit. Okay. And while yes, there are some sometimes convincing a certain audience, a certain person that this story might be realistic or a little more realistic. At the end of the day, it really is dependent on whether or not you as a it is dependent on whether or not you as a writer are capable of convincing your audience members, hey, this makes the most sense for a character, Yeah. And believe it or not, that is, again, it's something you're not going to be able to fully succeed in, but there are some things that you can do to make your story fit more realistically. Again, my example of Toph from The Legend of Korra. The reason it doesn't make sense for her to become a goddamn cop is because neither show showed us any reason for why Toph would ever want to be, well, a fucking law-based person in the first place. She doesn't really develop in the show to not want to, cheat and to not want to, like, use her earthbending powers to get her own gain. There's a whole episode, or at least there's a part of an episode where Katara gets really pissed off at Toph because she uses her earthbending to basically cheat at gambling. And Toph's response to this is, well, he was a cheat first. I cheated a cheater. That makes more sense. Like, it makes sense for Toph to, probably, again, use her powers to fuck with people who cheat or who fuck over others. That makes more sense because that's something that's actually set up in the story. Whereas in The Legend of Korra or in Avatar The Last Airbender, they don't show anything that makes us believe that Toph would want to be a law-abiding individual. Because if there's one thing I'm sure Toph believes and actually knows, considering her fucking parentage, just because people follow the law doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah,
but she knows that for a fact. So that's what I'm saying, realism. Like, it would probably make more sense if Toph was like a vigilante or some shit, but no, we didn't get that.
Would it also make sense that maybe she became someone who is, like, using the law to get her way, like although she's doing things right now with that?
I mean, yeah, it would, but again, the show doesn't show that to us. It never really gives us those reasons. That's the thing that makes it unrealistic, the fact that we're never given any type of reason behind it. We're never shown anything about it, which is another big issue that a lot of writers often have to, unfortunately, fall into. And that's just not showing us details or, showing us shit at all.
I guess so.
That's a big issue with a lot of storytelling, just not showing your audience things that they need in order to fucking make sure that we understand why your characters are making certain decisions.
Fair enough.
When the story doesn't do that, you kind of failed.
I guess so. But as I said, you know how many levels we just got done?
Let me guess. Oh wait, no, 4 actually.
4 fucking levels. You know how many levels that it took Arin to go ahead and do these, or how many episodes it took Arin to do these fucking levels? Like around fucking 3.
No problem.
Well, alright guys. Definitely leave a like, leave a subscribe, turn your notifications, hit that bell, and stay tuned for another episode of TemGameBoyz.
Bye guys.
The abnormal is normal when sweatpants and messy hair become formal. I felt so normal.